home of the Fredericktown Lady Freddies, where they're going to be taking on the Ontario Warriors. We have some MOAC versus KMAC action going on tonight, as this is a non-conference battle for both of these clubs. And actually both clubs trying to get back on track. We got some injuries that have impacted the Lady Freddies as we are now getting toward the back end of the season. And it's been a little bit of a down year for Ontario, but we have some excellent girls high school basketball coming up for you live and free on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Thank you guys for tuning back in. We are live once again from Fredericktown, where we're going to have the Fredericktown Lady Freddies taking on the Ontario Lady Warriors, MOAC versus KMAC, on this Wednesday night. A couple keys for the game. The Fredericktown Freddies have been without senior starter Grace Sipe since about Thanksgiving, as she has fractured that ankle. Fredericktown is happy to welcome her back. As I talked to the Fredericktown coaches pregame, she's going to be a welcome addition back in the lineup. Sophomore Callie Carpenter has held down a lot of the work since Grace has been out, but now teams starting to double Callie here down the stretch of the season has caused a lot of hardships for the Lady Freddies. Ontario continues to be led by first-year varsity coach Tracy Baxter, who actually has a good relationship with a lot of her players, as she was the JV coach the past few years with the Ontario Lady Warriors. Ontario is looking to get back on track, having lost 11 games this year without the star of the past few years, Macy Mangan. So Ontario trying to finish strong here down the back stretch of the season. Fredericktown also looking to get back on track, as they are coming off 2 straight losses, where really it was the inability to score that has really caused them to suffer. And at this time, we're going to turn it over for our away team spotlight. Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you for that. Our away team spotlight, so coming from our Lady Warriors, is going to be Ontario Warriors All right, so we don't have an Ontario Warriors team spotlight tonight. They're going to put in a good team effort. We do have a home team spotlight, though. We want to put our focus on sophomore Callie Carpenter. She has really picked up the slack as a 5'8" sophomore, filling in for senior starter Grace Sipes once again. Callie Carpenter averaging almost 15 points a game as we turned the calendar and got in the back half of January. She's also in the top 3 on the team in rebounds, and she has really been a key to the 4 wins that Fredericktown has been able to pile up this year. So it's going to be interesting to see Callie and Grace, see if they can find that chemistry that they were known for earlier in the year. There are some home team keys for our Lady Freddies tonight. The offense is going to have to catch up with the defense. So they're going to have to go through Carpenter. They're going to have to get Sipes involved early, but the defense has actually held their last 2 opponents under 40 points, and unfortunately, the Lady Freddies were unable to get out of there with the W. So hopefully the added boost on offense with Sipes and Carpenter connecting is going to help them get that offense over that 40-45 mark so they can compete for a win down the stretch of the game. And also on the Ontario side, Ontario is going to have to pick it up tonight. They can't waste any. They're not going to be able to waste any possessions on offense. They're also struggling to score a lot of points. They're not going to be able to have turnovers because those are points off the board. So when you score at a low clip, even if it's shots up that are off the mark, they're going to have to get those shots up, hope that they fall more frequently than not, and then again limit those turnovers. So at least the actual offensive pattern is going to be ending in a shot on the board, even if it's not always successful. Thank you again for turning in to the OH Report. You're watching Girls Hoops live and free, and down on the floor they're actually introducing the away starters. That's going to be the Ontario Lady Warriors. Again, the Lady Warriors coming in with a record of 5-11. Not as successful as they've seen in the course of the last few years, but they're hoping as we head into the back couple weeks of the season to start righting the ship, pile up some wins as we finish the regular season and start heading into tournament play. Some of the names that you're going to be seeing for Ontario tonight, there are a few key players that you're going to be seeing for the Ontario Lady Warriors tonight. They're going to try and get a lot of people involved. The Boughtons are going to be key. Kennedy Allgaier is going to be key tonight. And again, a lot of the offense and a lot of the defense is going to be run as a team effort as Ontario tries to get on track here down the back week or 2 of the regular season. Number 23, Taylor Counts, is being introduced. She's a little bit of height for Ontario, as is number 31, Lizzie Nagel. Hoping for Lizzie to get some points in the post. And Taylor Counts coming in as a guard, but a guard with a little bit of size and length. Hopefully he's going to impact some shots, get her hands on a few balls, and be able to knock those away. So it's going to be a team effort for Ontario. Defense has been doing good. Offense will need to catch up. Fredericktown starters are being announced on the floor now. And again, heavy emphasis tonight on welcoming Grace Sipes back. She's coming off of a broken ankle, unfortunately, right around Thanksgiving. So it's been just under 2 months, and Sipes is coming back. Fields rested. Callie Carpenter is super excited to have her back, see if they can reclaim some early season chemistry that they had together, take that workload down off Callie. and see the senior Grace Sipes get back, get focused, and hopefully have some success down the back stretch. This is actually the first game I'm calling night for the OH report. For those of you who haven't seen me on sidelines elsewhere, I'm more known for baseball and football, but also a huge basketball fan. This is my first game with OH Report. My name is Cory Branham. I'm a baseball coach, lifelong basketball fan, played some basketball back in the day, but have just always been a fan of basketball at all levels. So hoping to keep you entertained tonight, hoping to help you out, follow the action, and hoping to cheer on both of these teams to what should be a good game. We're in both teams in a similar situation. Season hasn't gone the way that either had expected. Be that due to injury, be that due to new coaching, be that due to new players trying to fill the role of other players that have graduated. So we're tipping the ball off. Ontario's going to have the first possession. We had a loose ball kicked around on that first possession. That's ultimately secured by number 11, Callie Carpenter, right on cue, and she's going to set up the offense and quickly gets the ball over to number 10, Grace Sipes. You know, she's been itching to get the ball in her hands. She's been out for almost 2 months. She does have an ankle brace on, and Sipes able to get the first shot up. Shot just off the mark, so a little rush showing early for number 10, Grace Sipes, but she's able to get back down on the floor on defense. There was a putback shot there in for Ontario, but Sipes was able to get her hands up and play really tight defense, so it's good to see her. She's moving fast, she's moving quick on both ends. Ontario was ready for her to get a lot of action, as they did put a double team on Sipes as soon as she hit the half-court mark. But Fredericktown defense able to close that gap, what looked like it could have been some easy points there. Ball out of bounds. And again, it's another quick double team on defense on the near side of the court. Ontario puts a double team on. Ball knocked around. I didn't see the call. Looks like it is going to be last touch by Fredericktown. All right, Ontario's going to set up the offense, starting out with number 10. That's Adrian Kearns. She gets the ball, as we talked about in pregame, number 31. That's Lizzie Nagel. She's got a little bit of size. Worked her down in the post. One quick pass. She's up and has that ball in quick. Have a timeout on the floor. I believe that was Sipes that was just down, but she's right back up. Doesn't seem to be favoring that left ankle that she's coming off that injury at all. So she's been involved in the action on offense and defense early. It looks like she did take a spill just in the last couple seconds, and it's good to see her walking it off on the sideline as she continues to knock that rust off. She's been worked in early, and we are definitely glad to see Sipes back tonight, and looks like she's ready to go back in after this timeout. And Sipes will stay out. Carpenter's going to stay out with her. Yeah, was able to just get a message from some of the Fredericktown fans welcoming Sipes back. So if it seems like it's been a focus, we're feeding off the energy of the home crowd. Ball knocked out of bounds here on the Fredericktown end. Looks like it was swatted away by Ontario. And at a minute and a half in, Ontario does have the 4-minute lead, but the quick inbound goes to Fredericktown. And that shot is up and good for the Lady Freddies. Foul call on the play, but that's going to send Ella Boughton to the line. Ella is a freshman getting some varsity time this year. Foul shot's no good, and a correction on that. That was Jill Boughton. We have Boughton sisters on the floor. able to get the shot in. Foul shot was off the mark, and again, that size and length down low for Ontario sends, again, number 31. Excuse me, no, it is 31. That's Lizzie Nagel again. She's able to work her way down low on the Ontario end, get it up and in, and then another ball out of bounds on the Fredericktown end, last touched by the Lady Freddies, is going to send it back over to the Lady Warriors. It's a wayward pass. Pass that was intended for number 20. That's Lauren Sexton. Pass about 3 to 5 feet off the mark, out of bounds. Last touch by Ontario. Jill Bowden to do the inbounding for the Lady Freddies. And it looks like Sipes still feeling strong. Going to her left. That's the injured side, so going strong to her left. Ontario again shows that double team on Sipes, so it pulls out as Sipes is able to get the pass off. And Ontario, Lizzie Nagel again, she seems to be a difference maker early. She gets the steal and she takes it the distance. That's going to push the early Ontario lead to 8-2, and we have a timeout call on the floor. Yeah, Nagel, she has 2 buckets and has been playing some tight defense as well, getting that steal and taking it 3/4 of the court for 2 points. As we said in the intro, that height for Ontario looked like it might be a difference in this game, and so far that's what they're leaning on. Fredericktown has certainly helped Ontario with a couple of turnovers as Ontario came out and was playing some trap defense and putting on a full court double team on Fredericktown earlier than what we would have expected. Again, as soon as the Lady Freddies get across half court, Ontario is showing that double team. Fredericktown so far having a tough time adjusting with it as another ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Freddies. Ontario getting it up the floor quick, working it down low. And I believe that's another shot attempt up and off the mark by Lizzie Nagel. Shooting foul, so she's going to be going to the line for 2. Pretty good pass that set that shot attempt up by number 23. That's guard Taylor Counts. First shot off the mark. Nagel is at 8 points in our first few minutes off of the clock here in Fredericktown. Nagel gets the second shot to go. That's going to push her game high total up to 9 as we still have 5 minutes left in the first quarter. So Nagel looking to have a good night. Second fairly short shot off the mark so far for the Lady Freddies. Not able to get those buckets to fall early. Ontario shot in and out. Fredericktown gets the rebound. Carpenter brings it up the floor. What a beautiful pass down low by Carpenter. She was able to find a teammate right under the hoop. First shot attempt was off the mark, but the offensive rebound for number 22, that's Maya Bryant, misses a shot, gets her own rebound, puts it back up. But Ontario has a quick answer. That is a 3-point shot, up and good for Kamagie Shaw. Her first bucket of the night. But Sipes setting up the offense, working her way down low. Oh, and that's good to see for the Fredericktown fans. What an ovation for Sipes, getting her first points in close to 2 months after that ankle injury. Certainly good to see her with a nice scoop shot. It was through and under the Ontario defense to get that on the board. That's got to be a weight off her shoulders. we'll see now if Fredericktown can capitalize on Sipes being able to get back in the flow, being able to get that shot up, and it looks like we got a chance. All right, ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Warriors. Sipes going to do the inbounding for Fredericktown. See if she can find a teammate open. She does. Oh, and three-point shot for Carpenter just off the mark. The putback opportunity for the Freddies was also off the mark for number 22, Maya Bryant. But after an offensive rebound by Sipes, she puts a shot back up. It's off the mark, but it's going to send Sipes to the line to see if she can capitalize on that early momentum. She's got 2 points, trying to push it out to 3 or 4. She's got it. Cutting into this Ontario lead. Again, lead aided by a couple of missed shots early, a couple layups just off the mark for the Lady Freddies. Maybe a little nerves. Sipes able to split the pair, but another offensive rebound for the Lady Freddies. They have been doing pretty good on the offensive glass. Able to set Callie Carpenter up for a three-pointer just off the mark. Ontario pushes the ball down low, kicks it back out for a three-pointer of their own. It's off the mark. Rebound to Maya Bryant. Some good back and forth action here over the last couple minutes. We have 3 minutes to go in our opening period. Oh, nice move down low by Callie Carpenter, but again, shots just off the mark for the Lady Freddies. That's 3 short-range shots that have just went off the rim. Foul call on the floor. Ball is going to stay with the Ontario Lady Warriors, where number 2, Layla Stevens, inbounds. Beautiful play drawn up by the Warriors to get Stevens involved after the inbound. Shot was off the mark, offensive rebound to number 32. That's Maddie Henderson, who puts it up and in, extending this Ontario lead 14-7 as they're doubling up the Lady Freddies. And we have a turnover on the floor for the Freddies. Coming out of that again as soon as the Lady Freddies start thinking about that half-court line, that Ontario trap defense has been kicking in, and so far there has not been a great adjustment to it by the Lady Freddies. We'll see what they can draw up throughout this game to get passes a little more easy. All right, another foul call on the play. Taylor Counts with a solid charge. Wasn't sure if she was fouled going up for the shot or if she planned to dump that pass off down low, but whatever the case is, a good amount of contact down low sends her to the line. She knows what to do with the first one. It's in. That's Counts' first point of the night. We'll see if she can get her second here on this foul shot. All right. Counts able to hit the pair, pushing it out to an early 9-point lead for the Lady Warriors. They back off the trap defense, and last second Counts backs up down low and in the paint with a steal, making the extra pass for Ontario. And that ball is on the rim, and that's going to be 2 more points for Shaw. A couple of good passes, work the ball down low for the Lady Freddies. That's Maya Bryant. It's 5'10" freshman Maya Bryant. It's good seeing her get this action early. This season having not gone as good as the Lady Freddies would have imagined. Again, some injuries on Sipes, a key piece of this Lady Freddies team. But Bryant able to get that first of 2 shots up, and shooters bounce and roll in, able to cut this lead back down to 10 points. We'll see if she can cut back into single digits. Oh, and that one is in and out. Offensive rebound. Put back up, and that's 2 points. And Lady Freddies are able to get this back to a single-digit deficit. Ontario has a little bit of a smaller lineup on the floor right now. Ontario has Nagel sitting out. She's taking a little bit of a breath after a flurry of points earlier, as she is still our game high scorer. But a foul on the play against the Lady Freddies is going to send Maddie Henderson to the line. Henderson just smooth, total confidence, puts the first shot up. No doubter, it's in. Back to the line for one more. Second shot off the mark for Henderson. Rebound over to the Freddies. That's Ella Boughton who gets that. And we did see a little adjustment to that full court defense. We had an outlet pass set up there and two offensive players down low, one of them being Sipes. So a little bit of an adjustment there as we get near the end of the first quarter. We had two outlet passes ready to be made there, and the Freddies were able to make that, and just within moments worked the ball down low where the ball was swatted away from Sipes, but last touched by a Lady Warrior. And we have a new possession for the Lady Freddies and a new face on the floor with number 3. That's Gracie Lester, working it back to number 22, Maya Bryant. She's on a little bit of a run here. Bryant catching fire here in the last couple of moments. It's back-to-back possessions for her where she's made impact plays for the Lady Freddies. And just a minute ago, we had an 11-point lead on the floor for Ontario. Lady Freddies cut that down to 7, and the ball, outlet pass to Bryant. Oh, and it's a miss for Bryant trying to cut into this lead. And we are just 15 seconds left in the first quarter. The Freddies want to hold this and try and play for one more shot as they have 8 seconds left to work it down the floor. All right, the ball down on the Fredericktown side. It is knocked out of bounds again. Last touch by the Lady Warriors. It's going to have to be a quick shot that gets off on this inbound with only 2.2 seconds left. Inbound shot is clean, but three-point shot is no good. All right, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter here from Fredericktown. You're watching Girls High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
And thanks for coming back with us here in Fredericktown, where we have some non-conference action between the Ontario Lady Warriors and the Fredericktown Lady Freddies. After a 11-point lead in the last couple minutes of the first quarter, the Lady Freddies, led by Maya Bryant, were able to pick up points on back-to-back possessions and get it down to a 7-point ball game. Oh, an excellent save, three-point shot out of bounds off the Lady Warriors. Ball saved by a Lady Warrior, but ultimately picked up by the Lady Freddies. And the Freddies, very special game tonight as they welcome senior Grace Sipes back. That's number 10 on the floor. She's been out with a broken ankle since around Thanksgiving, so getting her back in, we're not sure that she knows that she's coming off injury. A little bit of a brace on, but playing hard on both ends. She's made a shot, she's missed some shots, and there she's on the floor to celebrate with her teammate. That's number 11, Callie Carpenter. We highlighted Callie earlier in our broadcast because as the Fredericktown coach said, she has really felt the pressure of Grace Sipes being out. So it's good to see that chemistry coming back for Sipes and Carpenter as the Ontario Lady Warriors put the ball up, and that's Taylor Counts. Counts getting on a little bit of a run here with some excellent moves to end the first quarter. Three-point shot off the mark for Callie Carpenter. Offensive rebound for the Lady Freddies, but a traveling violation trying to kick that ball back out. So that's going to be a turnover, send it back over to the Lady Warriors, but it's still a 7-point game. And the Lady Freddies early did miss 2 pretty close layups and had some other shots that really could have gone either way, in and out. Spent a lot of time hugging the rim and just didn't fall down. One big challenge for the Freddies is still going to be a little bit of a height advantage for the Ontario Lady Warriors, drawing some of the defenders in, and then that opens up the deep shot as the Lady Warriors with that are able to extend the lead back out to 10. Maya Bryant, she has been a spark for the Lady Freddies tonight, scoring on 3 of the last handful of possessions for the Lady Freddies. Bryant, a 5'10 freshman, really playing good, largely responsible for keeping this game as close as it is, trying to get Carpenter, trying to get Sipes involved. Oh, and another shot that just will not fall for the Lady Freddies. Ball spent a lot of time on the rim. Looked like she was going to get the shooter's roll, but that's about the 4th shot tonight that's spent what seems like eternity for these players on that rim trying to figure out which way it's going to go. And they're just not falling right now the Lady Freddies' way, but they're hoping that those will catch fire. And, got to give credit to Ontario. They're playing hard. They have not had the season that they wanted to have. And they're hoping to finish strong as we get down into late January and February basketball here in the state of Ohio. Ontario, the taller team in most instances. And Ontario has really been double teaming the Lady Freddies wherever the ball is going. We saw it early in the game. From the first couple of possessions, they were playing a full court double team. They were putting the press on very early, and then we saw there down low, they were able to close and double team down low, but it is going to be a foul. A little too aggressive down low for the Lady Warriors. Fouling Callie Carpenter. She's going to go to the line. A little bit of a low-scoring night for Callie. She's only at 2 for the night, averaging 14.9 points. So Callie been putting up 15 points throughout much of the season, where her number's been called a little bit more than maybe was expected at the beginning of the year, but she's able to split the pair there. Get this lead back down to 7. So Ontario's had the lead at 10, I believe at 11 once, but both times the Lady Freddies are able to chip into it, get it back down to single digits, but it seems, at least for the last few minutes of game time, they've been kind of stalled when they hit this 7-point deficit. They're still one big shot away from getting it down to 5 or 4 points and putting a little more added pressure on the Ontario Lady Warriors. Ontario still being led by team and game high scorer Lizzie Nagel, who's taken a little bit of a break after really being on fire in the first quarter. They've sat her out. Looking at the court, I believe she's going to come in fresh. Nope, and Nagel is still going to be sitting for this. So a little bit of height missing from the Lady Warriors, but not too much. They do have a little size advantage. Shaw setting up the offense for the Lady Warriors. Little give and go action, but it's kicked around, and that's a turnover. Who else? Carpenter picking the ball up. Jill Boughton picked up that loose ball, so she's going to have another steal. Both Boughtons are averaging more than 2 steals a game as we get in here down the stretch run of the season. So Jill Boughton likely to pick up another 1 or 2 as we get down the rest of this half and into our second half. Still a 7-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Ella Boughton going to do the inbounding for the Lady Freddies. Finding Jill Boughton and Ella to set up the offense. Going to her left. Gets the ball back over to Jill. Callie Carpenter. Feeds it to Maya Bryant. We have 2 players reaching for the ball near the line. Not sure if we have a foul call or if there was just a foot on the line there, but whatever the case, it's going to go back over to Ontario. Shaw's going to bring it across half court. Lady Freddies look content to just set up a half court defense. Setting up a 2-3 right now. Points down low have hurt them. And right on cue, Shaw takes it down low. That's going to push Shaw. She's up at 7 points, and it's going to push this Lady Warrior lead back to 9. Bryant tries to cut it back to 7, but the shot's a little strong over the hoop. Lady Freddies in that 2-3 defense, not wanting to get taken advantage of by the size down low. Does get a hand up on the ball. It's kicked around for a moment. It's out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Freddies. It looks like number 23, Taylor Counts, is going to inbound. Layla Stevens gets that inbound pass. Kamasia Shaw again to set up the offense. She's been on a little bit of a run. She's hit 1 from deep. She's hit from inside. And wow, Taylor Counts didn't even look like she was really going to go up for that shot. Looked like maybe she might drive, but pulls up quick, puts that in. Extends this lead back to double digits, and for about the 5th or 6th time tonight, the ball's halfway down for the Lady Freddies and just doesn't fall. Offensive rebound over to the Freddies. Ooh, dangerous pass, but no trouble there. Callie Carpenter does what Callie Carpenter does. She drives strong, gets this lead back into single digits, pushing her to 5 points on the contest. That 3-point shot that was halfway down and back out, that was for Sipes, and I don't want to miss Taylor Counts there on back-to-back possessions. But again, just want to highlight tonight that Sipes is back from about a 2-month break, and we've already heard from several family members, coaches, that they're fired up to have Sipes back, and I think the Fredericktown fans are just ready to explode if she was to hit a deep 3. And that is Sipes right on cue, driving. Looks like she's going to be fouled right with 2 minutes left in our first half. And again, an 11-point lead for the Lady Warriors, but ball staying with the Lady Freddies, trying to keep this lead minimal, get back into single digits after now 3 different leads for the Lady Warriors of more than 10 points. We'll see if, yet again, the Lady Freddies can get this back down into single digits, pick up some momentum as they go down to the last 2 minutes of the first half. So that's Sipes. Sipes to the line. She's sitting at 3 points on the contest, trying to push it to 4 here with this first shot. All right, and Ontario, the Lady Warriors, only at now at 7 fouls for the contest. That last one a non-shooting foul. Another shot, spends a lot of time on the rim, but falls off the front of the iron. Shaw to set up the offense for the Lady Warriors. Looks like a foot was on the line for number 25. That's Olivia Krieger. That's going to be a 2-point That's going to be a 2-point basket as we get to 1:40 left in the first half. And now we got a 13-point lead. Sipes playing hard out there, driving to her left, and that seems to be the side that she's favoring. Fouled, down on the floor for Sipes, but back up. Immediately looks over and is getting the support of her teammates, has a chance here to potentially cut this lead down to 10 as we're sitting at 32-20 with 1:29 left in our first half here in Fredericktown. And Sipes sinks the first, so she will aim to cut this down to 10 with 1:29 remaining. Ontario's got some of their height back out there as Nagel doing some boxing out there, and rebound over to the Lady Warriors. Nagel may have had a shot down low right there, but just didn't pull the trigger. Ball is kicked around to a couple players. Making that extra pass finds Paradise Giroux, who puts it up and in for her first bucket of the night. So Giroux on the board with her first basket right as we are at the minute mark left in our first half, and a 13-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Wayward pass there for the Lady Freddies. Winds up on the Ontario bench. Back over to our referee tonight. Looks like Shaw's going to take a break and let Stevens check back in. All right, with 52 seconds left in our first half, we'll see what kind of shot the Lady Warriors have in mind. Sipes playing defense on the three-point line. Lady Freddies have been in that 2-3 lately. And ball swatted around. That's going to be off of number 22, Maya Bryant. She's ran a couple of spurts tonight that's really helped the Freddies cut into big deficits. Came up a little bit short of another steal on that possession, and we'll see if the defense can capitalize. And Callie Carpenter, she picks up the loose ball. It's gonna be another packed stat sheet tonight for Callie Carpenter, averaging 15 a game, over 5 rebounds a game, a couple of steals a game, and picking up the loose ball there right on cue. So with 22.8 seconds left in our first half, we're gonna see Sipes back to the line, hoping to cut this deficit down. All right, Sipes ready to take the first shot. I'm going to see if she can make it a 12-point ball game. And she does. One more shot coming, and a 34-22 lead for the Ontario Lady Warriors. We'll see after the shot how aggressive the Lady Warriors are. They do have 3 of their taller players out. See if they try and work the ball down low. Sipes, she's on the board once again. See if Ontario holds here. We'll see how aggressive they'll be. And they make 2 passes, work the ball down low, and they're able to get their lead out to 13 with 5 seconds left. We'll see if the Lady Freddies can get a shot off. The shot's up. Shot is off the mark, but with 0.3 seconds left in the half, looks like number 10, that's Grace Sipes. She's going to go back to the line, and she's going to have a chance to push her point total up to as many as 9 after this possession, or after these shots. And she makes the first, but even more important is she has a chance to get this lead back down to a manageable 11. And if some of those shots start falling for the Freddies, they can easily chip into this lead if they come out and those start dropping in the second half. With 0.3 seconds left, the Ontario Lady Warriors will not get a shot off, and that's going to send us to halftime here at Fredericktown. It's an 11-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Coming up, we're going to hit you with some halftime stats. We'll have some first half analysis, and later in the broadcast, you may see some interviews and even more information coming your way. You're watching Girls High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report.
Playoff time, baby. Games, snacks, drinks. I mean, what else can you ask for, bro? Really?
Hey, pass me a Pepsi.
I mean, can you drink any louder?
That's how I drink.
Loud like that?
I drink loud. I like to enjoy it.
Toss me some Lay's.
Did you eat any louder?
It's normal to eat loud. Drinking loud makes no sense. Peyton, Eli, road trip to the Super Bowl. Hard pass. Playoffs are on. You're paying for that door, by the way. At the bus. The bus has got a bus. Let's go.
Can we go see the bus?
What up, Eli?
Mr. Cruz, I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, man. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
We're not going. I'm going to get more chips and drinks. Do not leave this room.
I got you. I got you.
Whoa.
Super Bowl, here we go.
Are you kidding me?
Technically, I didn't leave the room.
I'm calling Mom after I finish these chips.
How much longer? You drive weird.
Bus, are we there yet?
No.
Hey, Bus, we gotta pull over for some more chips and drinks.
Oh, you got it.
Hey, guys, look what I found.
Bradshaw?
Hey guys, got room for one more? Got Doritos? Got Mountain Dew.
Well, do we really want to bring him? It might start to feel crowded. I mean, maybe if he had a little,
Oh, please don't.
you know, he'll
Don't say it.
salsa.
I love me some salsa.
All right, I got an idea. We got one seat left, and it's special just for you.
Let's do it. This is like a convertible, except a whole lot better.
Good for you, you're happy and healthy, not me, if you ever cared to ask. Good for you, you're doing here, I know without me, baby, God, I wish that I could do that.
I lost my mind like Santa Claus, crying on the floor.
It does kind of open things up a little bit.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
You know you gotta climb higher, climb higher, let the fire burn brighter, be stronger, go longer, climb higher, climb higher.
24-26 is your score at the half here on the OH Report. Ontario has a 11-point lead at the time. And we need to thank some of our fantastic sponsors who help make this game live and free this evening. Mike's Fredericktown Marathon Towing and Repair, a full gas station serving breakfast and lunch. Mike's also offers 24-hour towing and full-service automotive repair. Also brought to you by Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community, and Frito-Lay. We are driven and inspired by our purpose, food that matters for life's moments. We'll be back with stats, analysis, and more with Cory Branham right here, live and free on the OH Report.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
And thanks for joining us again. We're back here at Fredericktown where we got some MOAC versus KMAC action. Very eventful first half. Ontario was able to get the early 12-point lead after 2 quarters, largely using their size. A lot of points down low. They did hit a couple threes, but a lot of points down low. Number 31, Lizzie Nagel, she's the Ontario team high scorer, but also the game high scorer. She's got 11 points, most of those coming down low, people making the extra pass to her. But we also have a good story coming out of the Fredericktown. Despite being down 12 points halfway through the game, Fredericktown has welcomed back senior Grace Sipes, who has been out for about 2 months coming off of an injured ankle. She had some close calls, early shots that could have easily went down, maybe a little rush showing for Sipes, but by the time it was all said and done, Sipes put up 9 points in that first half. Probably could have been more like 13 or 14. A couple of layups rimming out, things just not going her way. But right now the size is making the difference as Ontario is able to make that extra pass and get down low. But then also there's been 5 or 6 shots for Fredericktown that looked for sure like they were going in and just spilled off the front of the iron. So we're going to pick back up here. We're ready to start our second half. The Ontario Lady Warriors with that 12-point lead after 2 quarters. But if Fredericktown can get some of those tough shots to fall, if they cannot turn the ball over as much, that was one of our keys to the game that we led off with. Fredericktown was definitely impacted by an early double-team defense and a trap defense, and the first couple of possessions led to the first couple of turnovers. They've adjusted to that, but a couple of wayward balls out of bounds. We almost have one there. Ball is knocked out of bounds, but it's last touched by Ontario. So it's going to stay with the Lady Freddies. Taylor Counts doing the defense on the inbounding, and ball over to the Lady Warriors. Again, the turnovers That was one of our keys leading into the second half, is Fredericktown having to limit those turnovers and try and do something to get in the way of number 31, Lizzie Nagel. But another turnover, 2 more points for Nagel. She's your game high scorer at 13. And another ball out of bounds. Number 23, Taylor Counts, is going to set up the offense for the Lady Warriors, as they're now holding on to a 14-point lead. We've seen this before, though. There were 3 different occasions in the first half where the Lady Warriors got out to double-digit leads, and in all 3 occasions, the Lady Freddies were able to cut that into single digits, closing the gap to as much as 7. A little more sense of urgency here as the lead's out to 14. Tight defense by the Freddies and a wayward pass by the Lady Warriors. Ball out of bounds. Looks like the pass from Adrian Kearns. Her teammate had already cut and moved from the spot. Late pass goes out of bounds, not touched by anyone. Good pass down low. That's number 24, Ella Boughton. Finds number 11, Callie Carpenter. She's the do-everything sophomore. Highlighted Callie in the first half. She's been filling in largely for Grace Sipes, who's been out, averaging almost 15 points a game heading into mid-January. So after the 2 points from Callie, cuts it down to a 12-point lead. We're going to have a shooting foul called. That's going to send your game high scorer, Lizzie Nagel, to the line. It just seems like that combination of when Lizzie Nagel and Taylor Counts is on the floor, that seems to be the most explosive combination for the Lady Warriors. And 2 more points for Nagel. One of the keys we talked about early was the Ontario offense catching up with the Ontario defense, and the number we talked about was 40. In the last couple of games where the Ontario Lady Warriors had come up short on the scoreboard, they were held under 40 points. So that offense is catching up with that still stout defense for Ontario. Ball out of bounds after the 3-point shot for the Lady Freddies. But again, Ontario offense catching up with Ontario defense. Ontario looks like they just have a little bit more energy. Looks like they're playing just a little more explosive. Shaw almost sinks one in after being double-teamed, puts one up and off the glass, but a little pep in the step for the Ontario Lady Warriors as they're holding on to this 14-point lead as we're under 6 minutes in our third quarter. Sipes is able to find an open teammate out wide. That's Jill Boughton for a 3-point shot. Ball off the mark. But a lot of action after that shot ultimately results in number 10. That's Grace Sipes. She'll be heading back to the foul line. Foul call that time around is on Ontario, number 23, Taylor Counts. That's her third. Counts has 8 points as we're just 6 minutes left in this third quarter. So we'll see how much of a concern is that's going to be for the Ontario bench. If she was to pick up one more this quarter, there could be some early subs. There could be some time coming for Taylor Counts. And finally, a good roll goes the way of Grace Sipes, who, as she headed back out on defense, doesn't seem to be favoring that left side much at all, and she's taken a couple spills. She was down a couple times in the first half. Not sure what that call was, but after Sipes sunk her second foul shot, we do have a turnover call on the floor that's going to send it right back to the Lady Freddies with an opportunity to get this game down to a 10-point game. 2-point shot taken. It's a little bit off the mark. And it's going to be Counts who pushes that rebound up the floor. Good head fake by Counts, but she's triple teamed. And Counts is able to fight her way through that triple team to hit number 20, Lauren Sexton, who tries to get a pass down low, but ball off the leg of one of the Lady Freddies. And a quick timeout while we got to number 22, Maya Bryant. Looks like a shoe came untied there, but she's ready to go. She's guarding the inbound. excuse me, that was Ella Bowton that was guarding the inbound. Bryant still on the floor. 3-point shot, close to going in. Rebound, highly contested. A couple of Lady Freddies were up. Looks like only one Lady Warrior, but last touch by the Freddies. Shaw to do the inbounding. Bounce of the pass a little bit too strong for Sexton. And that's exactly what the Lady Freddies need, is to intercept a few passes. They need, if they're going to get back in this quickly, they need to see the Lady Warriors sending some of those balls out of bounds, playing with a little more mistakes, because they have been playing pretty clean on offense and defense. They've been held scoreless, though, for the last couple of possessions. We'll see if the Lady Freddies can do anything to take advantage of it. As that last possession winds up going out of bounds, but it was last touch by a Lady Warrior. Looks like Sipes will do the inbounding, and it looks like was looking for Bryant deep, but wound up hitting Ella Bowton. Sipes going right. We've been seeing her going strong to her right and to her left. Finds a spot, and again, that shot hits the rim twice, and it just doesn't fall for Sipes. Shaw, one-on-one opportunity. Good closing defense by the Lady Freddies. That ball is swatted. No foul call on the play. Looks like a clean swat. Ball last touched by the Lady Warriors, and we do have an injury on the floor. Don't have a number on that just yet. Coaches and trainers out on the floor. And while we have this timeout in the action, injury timeout on the floor, we're going to send it to a break. You're watching Girls High School Hoops live and free on the OH Report. All right, and after an injury timeout, we're back in Fredericktown, where number 10, Grace Sipes, is going to bring the ball across half court, set up the offense for the Lady Freddies. When we cut to break earlier, it was a injury timeout on the floor. That was number 22, Maya Bryant. She's the 5'10 freshman who's been having a great game for the Lady Freddies tonight. She did walk off the floor under her own power. Looks a little frustrated on the sideline. As once again the Lady Freddies try and cut into this double-digit lead for the Lady Warriors. She wants to be out there with her team. She's been playing good along with Callie Carpenter and Grace Sipes tonight, so everyone be hoping that Bryant will be back out later. But again, she was able to walk off under her own power, looked a little frustrated, didn't look like a major injury. We'll see how that shakes out during the last 12 minutes of our game, as we are exactly halfway through our third quarter here in Fredericktown, and a shot off the mark for the Lady Freddies. Deep pass was able to find number 31. That's your game high scorer, Lizzie Nagel. Her shot's off the mark. Offensive rebound originally for the Lady Warriors. Ball kicked around and finally corralled. Nope, it's going to be corralled initially by a Freddie, who puts it back up. Trying to hit a teammate, but an excellent break on the ball leads to a steal for the Lady Warriors and 2 quick points. Callie Carpenter feeds the ball off to the side, and another shot a little too strong for the Lady Freddies. And as we highlighted throughout this game, one of the keys for Ontario was for that offense to catch up with the defense, and we've seen that a couple times tonight. A little bit of a lull here in the scoring, as only 6 points scored for the Lady Warriors so far this third quarter. But their defense has been strong for them the last few weeks, and despite not scoring much in the last few minutes, they're able to hold on to this 14-point lead. Ontario holding their last 2 points, both under 40. 40 was our number for them to hit. That's a steal. Looked like number 14, Jill Boughton, had a steal picked up for the Lady Freddies, but a lot of contact down low. Winds up in Boughton and a Lady Warrior, both down on the floor. It's going to be a foul call on the Lady Warriors, where number 24, Ella Boughton, inbounds to number 10, Grace Sipes. Sipes due for a bucket here of her own to put her in double digits here on her first night back after missing the last couple of months. But teammate Callie Carpenter also 7 points, so right on track with Callie Carpenter. 2 really good passes there to set Callie up. Again, she's been having to step up. She's only a sophomore, but in the absence of Sipes, she's had to step up, and you see her there playing scrappy defense. Kick ball's going to stay with the Lady Warriors. But Carpenter now pushes her game high to 9, matching Sipes. We'll see if both of these young ladies can make a run. Again, with Maya Bryant having an excellent game as well. She's still sitting on the bench after an injury timeout. Another quick steal for the Lady Freddies. And Sipes back down on the ground, but pops up. Teammate tried to help her, but she was already halfway up. So Sipes looking strong, looking like she's got her feet under her. And, you know, you wonder if Sipes has amnesia. He doesn't know that she's coming off of a 2-month break, small brace on the left leg, left ankle, and she's out there playing most of the minutes of this game. So good to see that senior coming back and comes up with that loose ball, and we'll set up the offense now for the Lady Freddies. But, again, tight defense for the Lady Warriors. Fredericktown's earning everything, but Callie Carpenter finally gets into double digits. That's back-to-back buckets for Callie. Callie's now at 11 for the game. And for the 4th or 5th time tonight, a 12, 14 point lead has been cut back down to 10. A couple of those times in the first half, a 10 or 12 point lead. The Lady Freddies were able to get it down to 7 on 2 different occasions. So we're going to see if they can now keep holding this Lady Warrior offense to a little bit of a scoring drought, but a little bit of a drought outside of Callie Carpenter these last few minutes as well. Only 6 or 7 points for the Lady Warriors as we're just over 2 minutes left in our third quarter. So in 6 minutes, only 6 or 7 points for the Ontario Lady Warriors, giving the Lady Freddies every opportunity to get back in this. Callie Carpenter, Grace Sipes, Maya Bryant doing the bulk of the scoring for the Lady Freddies. We'll see out of this timeout if Bryant is checking back in. She went down several minutes ago, and I don't see a 22 out there. So Maya Bryant is still going to be out of the contest for now. Ella Boughton will be out on the floor. Gracie Lester out on the floor. Haven't seen Gracie much. We'll wonder if maybe that's one of the switches that has to take place with Maya missing minutes here for most of this third quarter. And the drought that seemed to be affecting the Lady Freddies in the first half certainly has found its way to the Lady Warrior bench. That ball was on the rim for a couple of seconds, had every opportunity to drop, but just rimmed off. Unfortunately for the Lady Freddies, they're not able to do anything with it. Little update over on the Lady Freddies bench. We do see Maya Bryant laughing, but she is still with the trainer. So injury, while it may not be serious, she is not back on the sideline. And again, we see Gracie Lester and a little bit of a switch on the floor. And we see another shot off the mark for the Lady Warriors. Can the Lady Freddies take advantage of it? Can they once again? And they do. So this is at least the third, but maybe the fourth time tonight that the Lady Freddies have been down by double digits, and they're able to cut it back down to single digits. But can they keep this defense up, or is it just a matter of time before the Lady Warriors start working that ball down low again? Again, led by your game high scorer, Lizzie Nagel. Timeout on the floor. 1 minute left in our third period, and an 8-point lead for the Lady Warriors. Offense has been in a little bit of a drought for Ontario the last couple weeks, as it has at times this year for the Lady Freddies as well. But really, this third quarter has not been great to the Lady Warriors, as Shaw has one off the mark, but offensive rebound up and good to push that lead back out to 10. We'll see what the Lady Freddies can do. Callie Carpenter once again calls her own number, splits a double team that was closing down low, and is able to get it back to an 8-point lead. A little bit of a trap defense set up, double team swarming. And it looks like Fredericktown is trying to match some of that height. Junior Jill Boughton was down low and was able to defend that pass underneath the basket. Pass wounds up being tipped, last touch by the offense, and Sipes will set up for the Lady Freddies. 20 seconds left in our third quarter. And the Lady Freddies trying to cut into this 8-point lead. Deep shot off the mark. We'll see if it leads to points with 8 seconds left in our third quarter. Outlet pass to Shaw, and just had a defender draped over her. Makes an adjustment in midair, and Shaw puts a nice touch shot up. It does drop in to keep this a 10-point ball game as we head into our fourth quarter here from Fredericktown.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
We're picking up our action here in Fredericktown High School, where it's a 10-point lead for the Ontario Lady Warriors over the Fredericktown Lady Freddies. Don't let that score fool you. The Lady Warriors have been out to a lead of as many as 14. They've been up by double digits 4 or 5 times so far this contest, but every time the Lady Freddies have cut it down to single digits, getting to within 7 multiple times, led by returning from injury senior Grace Sipes and sophomore Callie Carpenter. Right on cue, Callie Carpenter for 3. Carpenter's been doing a little bit of everything. Couple of extra passes down low for the Lady Warriors. Ball fed to number 31. That's your game high scorer, Lizzie Nagel. She's at 17. Opportunity to go up more. Shooting foul. She's going to be shooting 2. Nagel is one of about 3 pieces for the Ontario Lady Warriors that just has a little more length and a little more height, a little more strength down low. And despite only scoring 10 or 11 points in our third quarter, Ontario able to hold on to this lead with Nagel splitting the pair there, pushing the lead total back out to 8. Number 10, Grace Sipes, setting up the offense. Many of our stats tonight have been pretty even. What has really been a big difference tonight is shots just off the mark for the Lady Freddies. There's been 4 or 5 shots for the Lady Freddies that have touched every part of the rim and just decided to fall off at the last minute. 4 more field goals made by Ontario, only 1 more 3, only 1 more rebound, but it has been the turnovers, and there is a little bit of a difference on the foul shots as Sipes goes to the line and sinks one, but Ontario shooting 8 of 11 from the charity stripe and only 11 of 18. Sipes trying to make that 12 of 19. And off the front of the iron. So 11 of 19 from the foul line for the Lady Freddies. That has cost them some points, as has, quite frankly, some bad luck. But let's not take anything away from Ontario, who just had one that could have gone either way, just off the front of the rim. So a lot of shots just not falling for these guys on this KMAC versus MOAC contest. But I will say, for both teams, they've been playing hard the whole game, and where these seasons, due to injury and other factors, haven't gone the way that they envisioned, there's no quit in either of these teams, as that 3-point shot's just off the mark for Sipes. Shaw brings the ball up the floor for the Lady Warriors. Sexton feeds the ball to Kearns. So Ontario really putting an emphasis on making the extra pass. And there's a foul call on the floor. During that exchange, number 3, Gracie Lester is going to check out, and that'll allow number 24, Ella Boughton, to check back in. Still, for the majority of this second half, the Lady Freddies, who played excellent defense, they've been without a star performer in Maya Bryant, who had a couple of runs this game that really helped close those double-digit gaps, but she went out during an injury timeout earlier in the third quarter. We've seen her with the trainer. We've seen her smiling, but she has not been able to return. And in her absence, we see number 2, Kit Bellman, 5'7" freshman, checking in for her. I think Ontario's been trying to exploit some of those matchup shifts with Brian out. Shaw to do the inbounding and a quick turnover. It's exactly what Ella Boughton needed to do for her team. And she finds her teammate and team high scorer, number 11. That's Callie Carpenter. She is at 16 for the contest. Callie Carpenter is averaging 15 a game, so a little bit above her average, with a chance to cut into this 7-point lead. And another shot just off the mark. Looked like it was going down for a moment and ultimately off the back of the iron, but with an opportunity to cut it to 6. Both foul shots just off the mark for Callie. So the third time that the Lady Freddies have battled a double-digit deficit, as many as 14, and have got it down to 7, but that just seems to be the number, whether it's a bad bounce, a couple foul shots off the mark, cutting into that 7 and making this that 2-possession game has really been something that has just not gone in their favor. And foul shots tonight, just barely over 50%, shooting 11 of 21 for the foul shots. And if you add that up with some bad breaks that are going to happen during basketball, that's leaving 10, 12 points on the floor. And that's not gonna be enough to hold this hungry Ontario team off, and it's going to send team high and game high scorer number 31, Lizzie Nagel, to the foul line. She's been having an outstanding game. Chance to push her total to 20. That's 19, and it pushes this lead back out to 8. So For the fourth time in the contest, we have the Lady Freddies cut a big lead down to 7, opportunity to cut it down to 6 or 5, and it just doesn't fall their way, and that sends Lizzie Nagel to the line, and now she gets it back out to 9, and she also has hung a 20 spot now for the contest, edging out Carpenter for the game high. We're almost halfway through our fourth quarter here, and it's a 9-point lead. Didn't see the call on the floor, but the shot off the mark for Callie Carpenter, that would have put her at 19 and cut this lead back down to 6. Looked like she got off a good shot. Didn't see the call on the floor. Obviously non-shooting foul. It's just going to be a quick break in the action, and now Carpenter's going to set up the offense. Ball tipped around a couple of times. The Ontario Lady Warriors, as we highlighted earlier, it's their offense catching up with their defense. The last couple of losses for the Lady Warriors, they held their opponent under 40 points, but the offense was not quite there. So tonight, as we said from the beginning, it may have been a contest where the first team to score 40 was going to win. Well, that first team was Ontario, and they're holding on to a 9-point lead as we're getting almost halfway through our fourth quarter. So it's good to see the Ontario offense catching back up with 20 of those 49 points going to Lizzie Nagel. But don't go anywhere, folks. We have a 9-point lead. It has certainly been more, up to 14 at one point for the Lady Warriors before a couple of shots put up and in by the Lady Freddies. And just want to remind everyone that after our broadcast tonight, the Joe Show will begin shortly after we're done calling this game. We'll have some post-game analysis for you. We'll have a player of the game. But don't forget that the Joe Show will begin shortly after our contest tonight. We're going to see what players we're going to send back out. The freshman is going to go back out for the Lady Freddies. That's Kit Bellman. She's going to get some playing time. She's been in a rotation of a couple people that have stepped up in the absence of Maya Bryant, who we've seen smiling and just not able to return in this game since an injury in the first couple minutes of the second half. But to the Freddies' credit, they've played good defense. Speaking of good defense, Shaw with a sliding stop, able to save the ball. Looks like she put it up to a teammate, and it was swatted away by the Lady Freddies. So aggressive defense, nothing new for the Lady Warriors, holding many teammates right around, many opponents right at this 40 mark or under, so that was a highlight for us for both teams. Who can get to 40 first? And it's been Ontario. Ontario up by 9. A little bit of a different lineup on the floor for Ontario as well. We've seen Eden Howard earlier throughout the night, but we're at a moment in the game where a couple of shots might put this thing away. And we don't see Taylor Counts on the floor right now. She's been putting up a lot of points so far this contest, and it's been her and Nagel. That combination of size has been something that's been a tough adjustment for the Lady Freddies. And we do see a Lady Freddie coming up a little bit sore. We'll see what the word is down there, but that's going to be number 14, Jill Boughton, who comes up favoring the legs a little bit, but just saw her high-five her coach and her teammates on the sideline. She's catching her breath. We look forward to seeing Boughton back in. Jill Boughton, got to specify, there are 2 Boughtons on this team, both playing hard tonight, getting some action on the floor. We'll see if she's able to get back in, and as we've said throughout our coverage tonight, the injury bug is nothing new for the Fredericktown Lady Freddies, as they've been without their senior leader, Grace Sipes, for most of the year. I just want to draw your attention to some of our upcoming games that are going to be covered, we do have South Central and Crestview. Lady Hoops action is going to be on the OH report tomorrow. That's Thursday, January the 19th. Be able to hear the South Central and be able to watch South Central and Crestview in some Firelands Conference action and see if the Crestview girls can keep up with the Crestview boys. Congratulations to the Crestview boys. Understand they just hit 13-0 for the first time in school history with a big win over Madison. That's not a double overtime win over Madison. That's not a matchup that maybe you see every year on the calendar. But the Crestview boys off to a historically good start. So if you want to check some Crestview action tomorrow, it'll be the Lady Crestview Cougars that are going to be taking on the South Central Trojans. So be sure to check us out for more Lady high school basketball hoops tomorrow as we pick up some Firelands Conference action. We still see number 12, that's Eden Howard on the floor. Whether she stepped on the line or just lost the ball, whatever the case, ball out of bounds and a turnover, and with 3 minutes left, it's this 9-point lead. And I'm assuming that the Lady Freddies are going to draw something up for number 10 or 11 and see if they can once again cut this lead back to 7. That's been the number. Big lead after big lead, cut down to 7, but just not able to get that down to 6, 5, or 4 and get that, put that pressure on the Ontario offense, who really has stagnated after the first half. They went on about a 4-minute run in that third quarter where they had only scored 6 or so points, and that really opened the door for the Lady Freddies to close this gap, to make this a 4-quarter game. A little break in the action on the floor as Ontario inbounds. As I'm looking at the Lady Freddies score prior to that pass basket, the foul shot difference, the Lady Freddies shooting just over 50% at 11 of 22. Had they have sunk those other 10, this would be a 1-point ball game. If they would have made half of those other 10 and then half of those 50-50 shots off the rim like that one there, if those would fall, and that's another one, that's a possession where 2 shots have every opportunity to go down but don't fall, but foul shots and a little bit of bad luck and a lot of number 31, Lizzie Nagel, just on cue, as it was just a single-digit 9-point lead just a few moments ago. Once again, back out to 14. But yeah, missing 10 foul shots. No one's ever going to make them all, but as we see Ontario 9 of 13, a little bit better percentage. If the Lady Freddies could have maybe split that difference and be at 15, 16, 17 out of 21, and then in an ideal situation, even a couple of those 50-50 shots falling their way, this would be a lot closer than it is. But for the second time tonight, it's a 14-point lead for our visiting Ontario Lady Warriors. But again, we've seen this before. We've seen this several times before, these double-digit leads, but some timely buckets by Callie Carpenter, by Grace Sipes, by Maya Bryant, the 5'10 freshman, if she's able to get back on the floor, have been able to cut this to those 9, 8, 7-point leads. And I just believe that if they could get within 5 or 6, that momentum swing, that pressure on Ontario, who is able to play a little bit looser now, coming in, playing solid defense, offense getting some momentum after a couple of games where it just really wasn't there. If they could put the pressure on Ontario in the next few possessions, we might have an interesting finish, but right now Ontario's looking to pull away. Ontario offense over the last couple of games held under 40. That's been our number that we talked about in pregame is who might be the first team to score 40. And just as we said out of the timeout, the Lady Freddies have to look to Carpenter, have to look for Sipes. And without Bryant on the floor, those two are going to step up. Another quick turnover, outlet pass to Sipes. And open look. Some good turnaround defense by the Lady Warriors, but that would have been a possession that could have cut it to 9. Instead, it winds up on the other end, and who else for the Lady Warriors? I believe that's number 31, Lizzie Nagel. She puts it in for two. Have an opportunity for the three-point play here and just to extend her game high. She's at 24. Nagel at 24 points. There have been contests that the Lady Warriors have had in the last couple of weeks that were, as a team, they were high 20s, low 30s. So they've caught some fire here with number 31. Nagel has been playing very consistent basketball, a little bit of a scoring drought for the Lady Warriors as a whole. As we see number 10, Grace Sipes is going to check out. And if you didn't catch the first half, if nothing else, the Lady Freddies should feel good about getting Sipes back. That was a big story for the home crowd that coaches and players were talking about and telling us about is, you know, we're going to have number 10 back after a broken ankle injury that occurred around Thanksgiving, has sidelined her for the last 2 months, but she was able to get in, score some points. But here in this last minute or so, it looks like the Ontario Warriors and Shaw are going to be able to close this out. Foot awfully close to the line, but it's going to push the lead out to 59-42. That 17-point lead is going to be their biggest lead of the game. Hard to overcome that with 65 ticks of the clock left, but you know, I don't see any quit in these teams, despite the season not going the way they wanted. 5 wins so far for Ontario, 4 for the Lady Freddies. They've been playing hard tonight. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores seeing action for both squads, really. And got to like this momentum heading into the last couple weeks of the season. And if you just saw on your screen, that's actually a game-winning shot from last night. So there have been a lot of close games lately. Unless something drastic happens here, this is not going to finish as one of them. But don't let this final score or this final big lead fool you by any stretch of the imagination. This was a game that was close throughout, with Ontario having huge leads, multiple leads of 14 points or more. But 3 or 4 times the Lady Freddies were able to cut that down to 7, but that was the number. Running out of gas when that lead was down to 7. And then the likes of Lizzie Nagel from Ontario just able to just pack the stat sheet tonight, scoring more than 20 points in this contest. A lot of new faces on the floor for the first time tonight. A lot of new faces getting buckets. And the Ontario crowd goes wild as we see a nice pass down low from number 44. That's Young. Leads to a 3-point attempt. That's what the Lady Freddies have to do as we get down the stretch. But like so many shots throughout the night, it gets a lot of the rim. It just doesn't get much of the net. But again, there is no quit in these Lady Freddies. As you see there, number 24, that's Ella Boughton, the freshman, 5'11 freshman. She's going up strong. It doesn't matter that there's 15 or 16 seconds left. These are meaningful reps for these Lady Freddies. And coming into this contest at 4-9 or 4-10, it's good to see some of these young players getting these reps, playing hard, making their foul shots, which that pushes the Lady Freddies to 12 out of 22, where again, if they would have made about 5 more of those when that lead was 7-8 and you're making 75% of your foul shots, now that's a 3-point lead. The pressure's on Ontario, and maybe if they weren't able to play as loose down the stretch, it could have been a different game. But valiant effort by the Lady Freddies, and it looks like we're going to end here at Fredericktown High School with a final of the Ontario Lady Warriors. The Fredericktown Lady Freddies are going to lose 43-61. Don't be fooled by that score. It was much closer than that throughout. Some chances had to be taken late in the game. Ontario was able to exploit some of those risks, some of those defensive mixes, and the absence of Maya Bryant there for most of the second half. Put some players in some spots they're not used to. Ontario takes advantage and wins it 61-43. That's going to push them to 6 wins on the season. as they head down the stretch of their MOAC calendar. And next up, or coming up, we're going to have some post-game stats for you. We're going to have a game MVP. We're going to interview that game MVP, and we'll get you some analysis and more.
Playoff time, baby. Games, snacks, drinks. I mean, what else can you ask for, bro? Really?
Hey, pass me a Pepsi.
I mean, can you drink any louder?
That's how I drink.
Loud like
I
that?
drink loud. I like to enjoy it.
Toss me some Lays.
Did you eat any louder?
It's normal to eat loud. Drinking loud makes no sense. Hayden, Eli, road trip to the Super Bowl. Hard pass. Playoffs are on. You're paying for that door, by the way. I got a bus. The bus has got a bus. Let's go.
Can we go see the bus?
What up, Eli?
Mr. Cruz, I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, man. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
We're not going. I'm going to get more chips and drinks. Do not leave this room.
I got you. I got you. Super Bowl, here we go.
Are you kidding me?
Technically, I didn't leave the room.
I'm calling Mom after I finish these chips.
How much longer? You drive weird.
Bus, are we there yet?
No.
Hey, Bus, we gotta pull over for some more chips and drinks.
Oh, you got it.
Hey, guys, look what I found.
Bradshaw?
Hey guys, got room for one more? Got Doritos? Got Mountain Dew.
Well, do we really want to bring him? It might start to feel crowded. I mean, maybe if he had a little,
Oh, please don't.
you know, he'll
Don't say it.
salsa.
I love me some salsa.
All right, I got an idea. We got one seat left, and it's special just for you.
Let's do it. This is like a convertible, except a whole lot better.
Good for you, you're happy and healthy, not me. If you ever cared to ask, good for you, you're doing here, there without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that.
I lost my mind like Sutton Bank, crying on the floor.
It does kind of open things up a little bit.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
You know you gotta climb higher, climb higher, let the fire burn brighter, be stronger, go longer, climb higher, climb higher.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us back here at Fredericktown, where we have our player of the game. Thank you for joining us again here at Fredericktown, where I have our Mike's Fredericktown of Marathon player of the game right here in Fredericktown. Stop by for anything that you may need. But our player of the game is Ontario senior. She's number 31, Lizzie Nagel. Lizzie, what happened tonight? 25. That's the game high for either team, and I'm told that it's your career high as well.
We just got the ball moving well in transition. You know, we were trying not to let them set up in the defense, and my teammates got me the ball running in transition, so it's really, they got me the ball, so I owe it to them.
Yeah, there was a lot of passing. You know, all throughout the night up at the scores table, we were just noticing. It just seemed like tonight the Warriors were just making that one extra pass. Your teammates were finding you. And a career high of 25 points, definitely player of the game worthy. Another thing we noticed up here is Ontario would get out to a big lead. You guys were up 14 or more 3 different times, but the first couple of those times, Fredericktown, they were able to cut that down to 7, but never got more than within 7. And I think that helped you guys kind of squelch the home crowd who was welcoming Sipes back. So how important was it to you guys when you were out there, when you see them getting back into single digits, down to 7, where it's close to a 2-possession game, to cutting off their runs and getting back out strong on offense?
Yeah, it's just basketball is a game of momentum, so we just had to keep our energy going. You know, if they did start getting a lead, we had to push back even harder. Just keeping the game moving our way is what we had to do the whole time, no matter what they were doing out there.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. You guys definitely, every time Fredericktown rallied, when they would get back within single digits, you guys would step up. There'd be a timely basket by you, or Counts was also someone out there putting up huge figures, putting out a huge effort. So we're down in the back half of the season. You know, the MOAC, there's a couple teams that are in front of you, but the effort tonight, it certainly looked like you guys were still playing for a lot. So could you just kind of speak to, as we're getting into late January basketball, where's this Ontario program at? What are some of the goals you guys have? And what does a big win like this on the scoreboard kind of mean as you get into the last few games of the season?
Well, I think every game we're just looking to improve. You really want to hit your peak at the end of the season, and that's what we're trying to do, just improve something every game. So as we head into tournament season, we want to be at our best. So just tweaking little things and getting better every game is what we're looking to do right now.
Well, I mean, there was definitely a lot of that. There was a lot of good adjustments. You guys ended momentum that they had, and we know that Fredericktown crowd with Sipes coming back off that ankle injury, been out 2 months. Maybe if they could have got that back within 1 or 2 possessions, this crowd definitely could have gone nuts, and it could have changed a lot of that momentum. So I see some of your teammates have been looking, so we're going to get you out of here here in just a moment. But is there anyone else that you want to thank? Anything else that you have on your mind that you want to get out here on OH Report?
I want to shout out my grandparents. They watch every game from home, so thank you for supporting me even from home. And shout out to my teammates for giving me the ball and cheering me on tonight.
All right, was Grandma and Grandpa here tonight, or they're maybe watching right now? All right, Grandma and Grandpa and everyone else who tuned in for our coverage of the Lady Warriors and the Lady Freddies tonight, thank you so much for coming. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with some more stats and analysis before we wrap up here in Fredericktown.
Playoff time, baby. Games, snacks, drinks. I mean, what else can you ask for, bro? Really?
Hey, pass me a Pepsi.
I I mean, can you drink any louder?
That's how I drink.
Loud like
I
that?
drink loud. I like to enjoy it.
Toss me some Lays.
Could you eat any louder?
It's normal to eat loud. Drinking loud makes no sense.
Peyton, Eli, road trip to the Super Bowl.
Hard pass. Playoffs are on. You're paying for that door, by the way.
At the bus. The bus has got a bus. Let's go.
Can we go see the bus?
What up, Eli?
Mr. Cruz, I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too, man. Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
We're not going. I'm going to get more chips and drinks. Do not leave this room.
I got you. I got you.
Whoa. Super Bowl, here we go.
Are you kidding me?
Technically, I didn't leave the room.
I'm calling Mom after I finish these chips.
How much longer? You drive weird.
Bus, are we there yet?
No.
Hey, Bus, we gotta pull over for some more chips and drinks.
Oh, you got it.
Hey, guys, look what I found.
Bradshaw?
Hey, guys, got room for one more? Got Doritos? Got Mountain Dew. Well, do we really want to bring him? It might start to feel crowded. I mean, maybe if he had a little,
Oh, please don't.
you know,
Don't say it.
salsa. I love me some salsa.
All right, I got an idea. We got one seat left, and it's special just for you.
Let's do it.
This is like a convertible, except a whole lot better.
Good for you, you're happy and healthy, not me. If you ever cared to ask, good for you, you're doing good enough without me, baby. God, I wish that I could do that.
I lost my mind like something like crying on the floor.
It does kind of open things up a little bit.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
You know you gotta climb higher, climb higher, let the fire burn brighter, be stronger.
Fredericktown High School, where we just saw some MOAC versus KMAC action, winds up being a win for the Ontario Lady Warriors. Final score of 61-43. It's going to push the Lady Warriors out to 6-11. Freddies are going to remain at 4 wins, but then move up to 11 losses. Don't be fooled by that final score. Fredericktown had an injury late, had to take some chances late, and Ontario really exploited it. But Ontario was pretty much always in command of this game, but it was back and forth to deficits of only 7 a couple different times, where some shots were in and out for the Lady Freddies that really could have swung momentum. And then in the second half, one of the star performers tonight for the Lady Freddies, at number 22, Maya Bryant, did leave with injury. Saw her laughing later in the game, but just unable to get back out on the floor. Difference tonight, foul shooting. Ontario Warriors 10 of 14 from the foul line, barely over 50% for the Lady Freddies. So if they make even 5 of those 11 shots, then some of those 7-point leads are now down to 1 or 2, and it's a totally different game of momentum and a totally different game of pressures. But we do have Ontario out field goaling Fredericktown 21-14, hitting 3 contests for Ontario as opposed to only 1 for Fredericktown. Slightly having a rebound edge at 22-20 for Ontario. Lots of turnovers tonight. Fouls, even though Ontario out-fouled. Again, though, Fredericktown did not make Ontario pay for those fouls, and then that cost them late, where the game really could have been a 2, 3, 4-point game, in the back half of the third quarter. It remained at 7, 8, 9, 10, and then with some pressure there at the end, taking some risk for the Freddies, filling in for that injury. A few things did go in the favor of Ontario. One of them is number 31 for them. That's Lizzie Nagel. We just got done interviewing her. She not only was your game high and team high scorer, but she also had a career high tonight. Lizzie just shared with us that 25 points tonight is her career best, and she was truly a star performer along with Taylor Counts for Ontario. And there are some benefits. There are some good news that comes out of Fredericktown tonight, as Callie Carpenter had another good game, eclipsing her season average, which is 15 points. But Fredericktown able to welcome senior Grace Sipes back after missing about 2 months coming off of an ankle injury. But that's going to do it from Fredericktown tonight. Just would like to let everyone know that after watching this game tonight, where Ontario beats Fredericktown 61-43 in ladies hoops action, this coming Friday, OH Report will be covering the Fredericktown boys against Danville in KMAC action. But after tonight, the Lady Warriors, they are going on to play the Clear Fork Lady Colts on Friday. And Fredericktown, again, we will be here with them Friday as they take on the Danville Blue Devils. So check out some more Fredericktown and KMAC basketball this Friday on the OH Report. Thank you for tuning in, and the Joe Show will be beginning shortly. We have not forgotten. We'll get the Joe Show over to you as soon as we wrap up this broadcast. So please stay tuned and check in for tonight's Joe Show.